are we? Are we all okay? I hope so. So the last video then, where we did some stringing, didn't we? We did some stringing and we made a lovely set of jewellery. If you're new to the channel, you didn't see that, have a look through my videos and you will find that one. And we talked about, I'm just going to move these out the way a second, and we talked about what was going to be next, didn't we? We talked about this. Is this going to be next? Well, it's not. We talked about this. Is it going to be next? Well, they're not. They're not going to be next. Neither is 4 bead herringbone stitch. That's not going to be next either. What is going to be next is, I thought we'd reel it back a little bit. Instead of 4 bead, we do 2 bead herringbone with a contrasting colour and a twisted herringbone. So it's 2 main beads and then a focal bead to go in the middle of your twist. So herringbone then, this is just a plain one. So herringbone, if you look there, if you look there, you can see what it's like straight. This has got a kink in it because obviously it's twisted herringbone, but this is just 2 bead herringbone stitch and I've made it into a twisted herringbone. If you wanted to know how to do a straightforward straight herringbone, do let me know and I will do a video on that for you. But I thought we'd do a twisted herringbone with a focal bead. So you can use 6 O's with an 8 O focal bead running down the centre. In these particular ones I've used an 8 O with 11 O bead running through the centre of our twist. On this one I've used a cream base 8 O with an 11 O in lemon for our twist. And they are so very pretty, very summery, very pretty. I hope it shows up on the camera. I do particularly love this. On this one I've put a magnetic clasp, super easy to put on, and this one I've put a little toggle clasp on. Again, very easy to put on, a little bit more easier than a lobster clasp, but if lobster clasp are all you have, then lobster clasp it will be. You will just need to alter your ends a little bit than what I'm doing on the video. So for the project then, I'm going to leave this on because I like it. For the project then, you will need contrasting beads. I have white 8 O's and gunmetal 11 O's. You will need a size 10 beading needle, and you will need some beading thread. I've got Slon, a pair of scissors to cut your thread, and a pair of flat nose pliers. Now why do you need flat nose pliers? Because a little tip on your thread, whether it be Slon or 1G, whatever beading thread you are using, including oh, what's its name? It's totally thrown me now. The fire line. I had to look out the window for inspiration. Not that I've got loads of fire line hanging up outside the window, because I haven't. And to thread your needle, if you just squash the end of your thread, I promise you it flattens it and will go through your needle, not a problem. So get your bits together then, your contrasting beads, your needle, your thread, a clasp of choice. I'm using a little toggle clasp in silver, a pair of scissors and a pair of pliers to flatten that thread. Get your bits together then guys and we'll be right back. Right then, have you got all your bits together? Have you done your shoulder exercises? Loosen your shoulders up, twizzle your neck round and round a few times. And when you get older, these are the things you have to do. as you get older. If you're young and nimble, woo, I miss those days. Anyway, so I flattened my thread with my pliers, as you saw me do, and I'm just going to thread my needle. And how easy is that? Needle threaded, really easy. So thread wise, it's hard to give a precise, oh Jane, drop it, a precise amount of thread. So as a rule of thumb then, I'm just going to use an arm span, by which I mean straighten your arms out across your body from fingertip to fingertip, and that will be, oh, and now I've just pulled it and unthreaded my needle. Great. And that's about it. But don't cut your thread off. Leave your thread on your bobbin, on your reel. Leave it on like so, and then we can do our clasp on the other end with that once we've got our beadwork done. So what colours have you chosen then, guys? I've chosen the black and white because I thought it'd be a nice colour for you to see, that would show up on camera better. So I'm hoping that that it does. Okay, so on with the project. Loosen them shoulders, Jane. Right, to start off then, we want 4 beads. 4 beads, 4 of our 8/0 beads on our needle. Bringing those beads down to the bottom of your thread and coming up the first 2 beads from our bobbin end, from our tail end, up those 2 beads, and we shall have this. So just to make it a little bit more sturdy, we're going to come through the beads on the other side of our tail thread, and then back up those beads, and we have this. Okay, now I'm not going to worry too much about going through it anymore, because they'll be going through a bit when we attach our other end of our clasp. So picking up 2 beads, coming down, so our thread is exiting on the left, and we're going to come through those 2 beads on the right, knocking those beads down if we need to, so we've got nice columns. Picking up a contrast bead, in my case it's a black gunmetal bead, and coming through, our working thread is exiting here on the right, going through the top 2 beads on the left, so missing the bottom bead and going through the top 2 beads. Now in the beginning it's a little bit fiddly, bear with it. You're the boss of the beads aren't boss of you. Don't be frightened of them. What's the worst thing that can happen? So you can see it's hitched itself down there at the bottom. I'm just going to push it up with my nail, and there we have it, our first contrast bead on. Now you need to keep a good tension, okay? So picking up 2 white beads, thread is exiting on the left, we're coming through the top 2 beads on the right, bringing those beads down, giving them a tap on the top if needs be, picking up a contrast bead and going through the top 2 beads on our left. Steadying those beads with our thumb and finger if we need, pushing that bead if we need to, picking up 2 beads, exiting from the left, going in at the right, the top 2 beads, bringing those beads down, give them a tap if we need to, picking up an 11/0 gunmetal contrasting colour, coming through, so you can see that we're down 3 beads with our thread, and we're going to go up the top 2. Now this is what gives our work the lovely twist. Pulling that thread through, and as you pull, give everything a little tug. As you pull, you can see that already it's starting to twist, and this is what we want. Always making sure that when we grip our beadwork after we've given it a little pull, that the thread is exiting on the left. Picking up 2 beads, coming down the top 2, picking up contrast, going through the top 2 on the left. So we're down, we've got 3 beads now on the top, on the right, where our thread's coming out of, and we've got 2 beads on the left that we're working with. Giving it a little pull. Can you see it's already starting to twist? Picking up 2 beads, and this, my lovely beading friends, is all that it is. Coming down through the top 2 on the right, picking up a contrast, going up 2 top beads on the left, giving it a little pull down, make sure our beads are sitting where we want them to sit. 2 beads, down 2 on the right, up 2 on the left, and obviously if you're left-handed it will be the opposite way around. Giving it a little pull. Practice makes perfect. It's a really quick project once you get going. That's a skinny one, we don't want that. 2 beads, down 2 on the right, up 2, get in, up 2 on the left, and give it a pull. It does help if when you're threading your beads on, if you hold your beadwork in your thumb and finger on your left hand, and just making, you know, pulling your thread with your right. Okay, and this is all it is. It's really easy, isn't it? Down 2 on your right, pulling snug, up 2 on the left, making sure that your needle goes through those beads. And already I've got 1 inch of beading and it's twisting beautifully. So now we more or less know what we're doing. I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to have a little bit of a ramble as I do. I pretend that you guys are sitting near me. I know I'm not getting any answers, but you know, it's a one-way conversation, as in me rabbiting on. But rather than being quiet and not saying anything, I may as well have a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a chat to you while you're beading along. You can still watch while I chatter. I think I might start calling these little beading tutorials Bead and Ramble, or Bead and Chatter, or Beads and Banter or something. So keep on going through the top 2 on the right, and back up, top 2 on your left. So what's been going on in Jane's world? Well, the garden. I don't really want to talk about it, it's been a nightmare. So I think I've said in one of my other videos that we're having a break from doing the house up, and we thought we'd come outside and do some work in the patio to make a patio area at the top of the garden outside my beading room. So we've had a guy been coming and doing the work, but because he works full time he can only get to us on a Saturday, so work's been slow. And then we had snowcrete put on and it all blew, so that was £300 down the drain, and it's down to Paul to pay because obviously I'm not working at the moment. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. I can't find a job, nightmare. And anyway, so today's Friday and tomorrow is Saturday, obviously, because Saturday always comes after Friday. And so the slabs, or well, the porcelain tiles are starting to go down tomorrow. Well, we chose the tiles and we chose dark grey ones. Anyway, we went and picked them and paid for them Wednesday just gone, and they came out for delivery yesterday, and we never have any luck, Paul and I, with this house. We just don't have any luck whatsoever. Anyway, we thought we'd ordered the dark grey. When we looked, the guy came, unloaded them onto the driveway, and I went outside and I went looking at these tiles and I went, these are the light ones, they aren't the dark ones. And we were like, oh, there was a few expletives. And yeah, the light ones will look okay, they won't look out of place, but I wanted the darker ones because I thought it wouldn't show marks up so much. Yeah, I thought the dark ones wouldn't show up marks so much. If you drop some ketchup, if you're having a barbecue or whatever, it'd be easier. I mean, I know you'd still clean up, but you know what I mean. Little little marks wouldn't show up so much. So we decided that we weren't going to send them back and get replacements, because we knew full well that we wouldn't get the tiles in time for tomorrow for them to start being laid. So yeah, I'm a little bit miffed about that, but it is what it is. They'll still look nice, and hopefully I'll have somewhere nice to sit shortly, because at the moment it's all in what they call MOT stone, and this fine gritty stuff, I don't know the technical name, that sort of sits in it and goes in the sort of cracks, if you like, to give a good bed for the tiles to go on. It's been whacked down and blah-de. So yeah, Paul and I don't have much luck when it comes to anything to do with this house, anything at all. If you're new to my channel, I live in old miner's cottage here in Cornwall that was empty for a few years, and before we bought it, well, Paul bought it, and we started doing it up. We had to replace floors in the lounge and the dining area, and then COVID hit and you couldn't get any workers, and then the price of materials absolutely skyrocketed. I don't know why. I don't know why a pandemic would put the price of materials up. I have no idea, but anyway it did. Wood had gone up like stupid money, and we've had to do the bedrooms got done 2 years ago now, and then the bathroom got done, started last year and ended early this year, and we need new stairs, because the stairs certainly wouldn't pass any kind of building regs now. So anyway, we need new stairs, and that means the landing has got to be done, and that's all wood chip on the wall, so you can imagine what kind of a mess that's going to make. And then it's what to replace it with, and stuff. It's a nightmare. We're in a nice little place right on the what's called the clay trails, because St Austell, the area in Cornwall where I live, is well known for its white china clay, and the clay works are just across the road, and about half a mile up the hill as the crow flies. But you don't half know it, because I've got a black car, and the dust really shows up on the car and the rest of it. Oh, my car! Don't get me started on my car. So I've got a Dacia 14 reg. So yeah, she's getting on now, but she's only done 64,000 miles, and this year is the first year, last Friday, that it failed its MOT, and I had to have new leaf springs, are they called, on the back there, and 2 new tyres, and something wrong with the, I don't know much about cars, there was something wrong with the one of the back wheel, not wheels, one of the back brake drums, so I've ended up having to pay for that. And oh yeah, which leads me on to work. So you'd think here in Cornwall there'd be plenty of work in hospitality, but they don't want old women like me, they want young people, because old women like me, I mean, I sound ancient, I'm only 50, say only 59. 59 when I was young was dead old. But 60 apparently is the new 50 or whatever, so I'll go with that. Yeah, I'll go with that. And mentally I don't feel old, but physically, but we won't go into illnesses and stuff and ailments. We'll save that for another rant. Not rant, is it? I'm just having a little chat with you guys while I merrily bead my way along here. So yeah, it's in today for its retest. Darcy, my Dacia, 4:30 today, so let's hope that she passes. She better do, because I've had all the work done, so I'm hoping that that she passes, fingers crossed. And the weather here in Cornwall yesterday was lovely and today is lovely. It's supposed to be like 22 degrees, but it feels a lot warmer out there. It's coming on nicely. Yeah, it feels a lot warmer out there and getting warmer for the weekend. And Sunday, I'm detecting, those who don't know, I'm a lady detectorist and I admin for a group here in Southwest, and we've got a dig on Sunday. What's gone on there? That looks like I've missed a bit. Does it look like I've missed a bit to you? I bet it's because I've been chatting. I have. I'm going to have to take my needle off and pull it out. Yeah, so we've got a dig on Sunday. Where are we now? I'll have a look, see. And the temperature's going to be quite high. Oh my God, for goodness sake. But at least the ground won't be hard because we're on plough fields. So that'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be good in anyway. Has that gone through? Yeah. The thread's a little bit tatty at the end. Oh, there we are. Right, let me have a little look-see at this now. Yeah, we're alright. So, I'd miss putting me black bead on. That's what went wrong. Bet you saw me, didn't you? Bet you saw me miss. And you're thinking, Jay, that's better, eh? So yeah, it's going to be quite warm on Sunday. I've got a neck cooler, so it's like it's a thing that you put around your neck. It's like fans, and you put it on and switch it on, and it sends all lovely cool air to your neck area. So I'll be charging that up in a bit tonight and getting it down in the morning, putting it in the car ready for Sunday. So how are you getting on, guys? Is yours all nice and twisty? It's like a candy cane. It's like a candy cane. So this is all it is. 2 beads on. And going down 2 beads on the right. Picking up your contrast. And going up your beads on the left. Giving it a little tug. And you just keep on going. So, lengthwise, if your wrist is 6 inches, we're looking at about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch for our clasp. So you need to bead about 6 inches, but you can try it for size. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to carry on beading, and you carry on beading. You don't need to hear me keep on rattling on until we get the length we desire. How have you how have you been getting on with tongue-tied? Tongue-tied. It's Friday, that's why. So I've got to the length that I need, and I'm going to show you now how to attach a clasp. Don't worry about this, we'll be adding the black seed bead in a second. So to add our clasp, we need 1 8/0 seed bead, one end of our clasp, coming back down through the 8OC bead and going down the other side of our beadwork. Now I'm going to go down 3 beads. Pull. I'm now going to go skip across and go through that black C bead and up through the top 2 C beads, catching the 8O. I'll bring you in a little bit so you can see clearly. So I'm going through the black C bead and the top 2 8Os, catching my needle through the 8O at the top where we're attaching to the clasp, pulling that through the clasp, back down through that top 8OC bead, down 2 of those beads, picking up an 11O, going through the top C bead, the top 8O next to our clasp, through the clasp, through the top 8O, and down through a few of those 8OC beads. And now I'm going to tie off my thread with some half hitch knots. So, placing the beadwork over our finger, it just opens the beads up a little bit where our thread is coming out of. Catching the thread in between those beads, but it's hard to see because it's white, and going through the little loop that we made and pulling. Go through a couple of beads, again wrapping the beadwork over our finger, catching the thread that's in between those beads, we've got a little loop, our needle through the loop. Now I like to do 3, so through a few beads, finger, picking up threads in between those beads, little loop, through and pull, and then to finish off I just go through a few beads and then cut off the thread. You can either use scissors or a thread burner. So that's done. So the other side then, where we've still got our bobbin attached, just going to pull off some thread. Ooh. Wow, better. That little trick of flattening the end of our thread of a pair of pliers, needle, straight through. Okay, so this side then, we're coming out on the right side, it doesn't matter. Pick up an 8OC bead, and the other side of our, oh, that's got a link on, hang on a second, I need to get that off. It's got a jump ring on, I'm just going to take this off. Sorry about that, guys. So 8/0 seed bead through side of our clasp, coming back through the 8/0 and down 3 beads. Now remember, this is where we started, so we've already got our bead where it needs to be. I'm just going to bring my thread across and then come up the top 3 beads on the other side, through those beads, through the 8/0 at the top, going through our clasp, coming down the 8/0, going through a couple of our beads on the other side, making sure that we don't catch our clasp, taking our thread over, coming through the top, well, come on Jane, be the boss of the beads, don't let the beads be boss of you. There we are. Wiggle it, wiggle your needle through the 8/0 at the top of our clasp, through the clasp, and coming down the other side. So back through the top 8/0 and back through a few beads, doesn't matter where you come out, ready to put some half hitch knots in to finish off our bracelet. So under the threads, little loop through the loop, pull down a few beads or wherever your needle comes out, bending the beadwork over your finger, that way it opens up the thread and between those beads, pushing our needle through with a little bit of a wiggle. Nearly lost me loop then, a little tiny loop. Through a few beads. Last knot then. Bending the beadwork over our finger to open those beads up. Through the loop, pull, and then through a few beads wherever your needle comes out, making sure you don't get hooked up on your clasp. Where's my scissors gone? Well, they can't have gone very far. I've been using them. There they are. If you saw my desk, it all looks tidy, but it really isn't. Cutting off our thread. I'm just going to move those out of the way a minute. Widen you out a little bit. And there we have our lovely twisted herringbone in gorgeous classic black and white. Let's see if I can put it on. There we go. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. But lovely, lovely project, and it doesn't take a lot of time at all. an hour of your time, and you've got yourself a bracelet. Isn't that lovely? So we've got the black and white one, the purple one. They look quite nice together actually. And a lemon one, well, a cream and lemon. Hope they showed up nice on the screen for you. We'll widen you out a wee bit more. There you are. Don't want to see the end of my table. Let's take you in a bit. That's it. So there we are then, guys. I hope that you go on and make lots of twisted herringbone bracelets. They make lovely, lovely little gifts. Make lovely gifts. So, and C's not that far away. See, Christmas isn't that far away either. What are we? August, coming to the end of August now. September, October, November, December, 4 months away. 4 months away, and it'll be C. It'll be Christmas. So get ahead of time and start making your little gifts up now. You could even make a necklace to match it as well if you wanted to. There we are then. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you consider subscribing to me if you haven't already. It'd be really nice. And let me know where you're listening from. I had a lady who messaged on my last video, and she's listening and watching from Ohio. I'm really, really sorry, I can't remember your name. So hi to the lady from Ohio. I hope that you're doing well and the weather's okay for you out there. So yeah, there you go. So next up then, next up we might learn how to do the twisted 4-bead herringbone, or I might skip that and go on to this, or I might skip that and have a break and go on to this. We'll see. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope everything's okay in your world. I hope you're having no dramas like Jane's having in her world. Well, life is just a drama. So until next time, you take good care of yourselves. I'm very, very happy being